following podcast contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
The Showdown Podcast presents the Survivor Series with Corey Miller, Vic Miller, and Brad Scott. This week's episode, Above the Rim.
Regulators. We regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good, too. But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Regulators! Mount up. It was a clear black night.
This is the Showdown Podcast. Welcome, Showdowners.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. I am, today, as always, this is another Survivor Series episode. We are looking back at 1994's Above the Rim, starring Tupac Shakur, Dwayne Martin, Leon, Marlon Wayans, Bernie Mac, and a host of others. And I am joined by Corey Flip Miller, Vic Muscle-Bound Scrub Miller, and I am just Brad. It's the Leon joke and the Shep joke.
Yeah, gotcha.
So
I got a funny about this whole situation.
what's that?
Flip is actually one of my my paintball nickname.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn shame what happened to Flip. Damn shame what happened to old Flip.
Yep.
Yeah, this, so street ball. This is a weird thing to ask because I'm guessing I'm going to get a couple of no's. I don't know, maybe. Either of you been involved in a street ball tournament?
No.
Yes.
Street fight.
You're a liar. Maybe a street Quidditch tournament. That's the Harry Potter game, right?
Yeah.
I got it right?
You got it.
Okay. That's pretty impressive. Never seen any of the movies or read any of the books. Just knew the reference.
Hey, maybe we should do that on a Survivor Series.
Oh, God, no. So
All 7 of them.
I've participated in a decent amount of basketball tournaments of all types,
The
right?
N1s?
Gus Macker.
Not the N1s. But the Gus Macker and, just the one, though, that sticks out in my mind is when I went to Vincennes University, my first year there. So this is like 2000. At Vincennes.
In case some of the listeners hadn't heard this story.
Have they heard it?
Yes, you've told this one before.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm guessing. I don't know what episode that was.
I don't
Maybe
know.
Blue Chips.
No, it was one recent actually.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
So I don't need to tell the story again?
No, I think it was maybe during the How High episode because it was at college, and I think that's.
I think there was a different How High.
What story are you thinking of?
I'm
then?
believing there was another story during How High.
If you can tell me the ending of the story.
it's where a guy was getting beat up on the court.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I guess I don't need to tell the story then.
Yeah.
That's all I had for the first segment.
It really begs to differ that there's probably people who haven't heard the story,
Yeah,
so it's
go
still
ahead and say
probably
it.
good.
So Corey
Even though
just
this
fucked it up
dickhead just
for
fucked it up.
no reason then.
No, because my initial comment was for those people that didn't hear the story last time.
But you said it in such a douche way that it made it seem like he's telling the story. Okay. And it made me self-conscious about
his-
repeating the story.
It's
Because
his
I'm like, maybe
one
that's
college
bad for the
story.
list. Well, no, like, I mean, I've played in a bunch of the tournaments, but nothing interesting to the point of almost watching a man being beaten to death has happened at any of those other tournaments. Just the normal tournament thing happened. So, yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay, I guess maybe a story from my old rec league days.
When I was playing down at the YMCA.
Oh, wait, no, I do. I do have an interesting rec league story
Okay.
involving my dad.
All right.
So when I was I want to say this is when I was a sophomore in high school or junior, one of the two, sophomore or junior in high school. I played in this rec league at the Boys and Girls Club in Franklin, Indiana, and my dad was my coach. Okay, now I should forewarn you by telling this story. My dad can have a bit of a temper issue, or he used to have a bit of a temper issue, and I had a little bit of one too, right? So we're playing this game. And this ref just doesn't care. He's being awful, but it's a close game, right? And, like, lots of people came out to watch these for some reason.
Because it's Indiana.
Yeah, so they
Franklin.
like really into it because it was really close down the stretch. And we were up, but then this team just started coming back because they were getting away with a lot of pushing fouls and stuff, and they weren't calling out. They just let it get really loose, and it was sloppy.
Sounds really familiar.
Yeah, well, not like that. There's no, for one, this was Franklin, Indiana. No one was dunking. But it comes down to like one of the last plays. We're down by 1 with about, I want to say, 14 seconds left. And the play, like, we didn't have a timeout or anything, so the play was for me to inbound the ball and then get the ball back and then try to take a shot. I go to inbound the ball. They literally just push my teammate onto the ground. Like, it wasn't even, like, because it wasn't, like, intentional trying to hurt him. The kid just got so overwhelmed, whatever, that when he went to go up and, like, run up to guard him, he threw him on the ground. And so I'm throwing the ball in while he's standing there, and he all of a sudden gets thrown to the ground. The ball goes past him. They pick up. My dad loses his shit. Goes off on the referee. Just, what the fuck is that? That's a fucking foul, blah, blah, blah. The referee comes up and just like kind of puts his hand on his shoulder to calm down. My dad grabs his hand, throws it off with this just Vince McMahon crazy look in his eye and just goes, don't ever fucking touch me. And they immediately kick him out. Then they kick me out because I start cursing at the guy and I'm going off. So I'm flipping people off right and left. I was really big into Stone Cold, so maybe I dropped a stunner or two. I don't remember. But they kick me out. They kick another guy on my team out. Another guy on our team got a technical. So my other friends who were playing on the other court stopped. Like they had another game going on the other side of the gym.
Everybody
stopped that game. Well, they brought other referees over to calm everything down and everything. They apparently shot like 12 free throws to finish the game. Like they gave the other team all. They couldn't have just been like, yeah, it's over. Like they actually shot the 12 free throws.
Just gonna rub it in a little bit.
Hold
more.
on, did they win?
Oh, yeah, we were down 1.
Oh, you guys were down, okay.
But we at least would have had a shot had they not thrown him on the ground. I stand by all my actions. I wish it would have been like when the time of like video cameras were really popular. Because, man, that would have been fun.
That would have been all over YouTube.
It would have been
epic. That would have been fun to have.
His dad getting ejected, him getting ejected.
My dad getting ejected. I also had, so another one of my friends, his dad coached in a league 1 year. And his dad, he got a technical during the game. So his dad sat him on the bench, and then his dad threw him out of the game. Made him leave the gym. Before we get into this movie, it is time for a little segment we like to call the Showdown Podcast History. All right, Corey?
This is actually the first time I've watched it.
So today was your first experience of Above the Rim?
It was.
Okay. Not surprising. Vic?
I've seen this movie probably about 100 times.
Okay. What about, we'd more likely just to hear the first one. That's
okay, so I've seen this movie about 100 times, and I've enjoyed it every time I've seen it.
Okay. Maybe not give away too much there, Corey. That's a Corey move.
And once again, you never know what's going to come out.
I watched this movie. Didn't see it in theaters because I was 12, and I don't think it even came around Franklin.
Yeah.
So I watched it immediately when it came out on VHS, and absolutely loved the movie. And VHS. And I used to watch it about 100 times as well. This has been the Showdown Podcast History. Yeah, I was like 12 when that movie came out. I can't even believe that. It's so weird to me. And I can actually remember watching it in, like, it did bring back a lot of nostalgia while I was watching it. Of like, oh yeah, I remember being in middle school in my, house in middle school, watching it in my room. And middle school was weird. Deja vu.
I remember this had come out shortly before I had moved out from my parents' house, and my roommate actually had the CD, the soundtrack. So I remember that's the only connection I had with it.
It's weird you didn't move out of your parents' house till you were 45. So this movie, here's a weird thing about this movie. It has a 53% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but this is the telling part. Audience score 83.
Yeah, it's a huge jump.
83. And I think this is, again, another one of those movies that falls into the category of critics are basing it compared to Citizen Kane instead of just looking at entertainment value.
Right.
So, Vic...
As they tend to do quite often.
Vic, I'm going to lob it up to you.
All right. So,
Take it above the rim.
God, that's bad. Thank you.
Continue.
Kyle Watson, played by Dwayne Martin, is a talented basketball player who's about to graduate from high school. He's looking to go to college at Georgetown University, and he's in that period right at the end of his senior year where he's worried about the scouts coming to watch him and worried about what's going to happen between.
Say probably March, right?
Yes.
They have to have a kind of a March feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
can
like,
see
what's
that.
going to happen between
Or wait,
now
or
and
was it the
graduation?
beginning? Was it the beginning? Because it seemed to be. It had a fall vibe to me.
Well, high school basketball is in the fall.
Well, no, high school basketball is late fall running through
Winter.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is this maybe the beginning of his senior season at the beginning of the movie? Maybe by the time we get to the shootout, it might be later on.
Well, I don't even think it was that far. I don't even think it was probably that far in. I think it was probably earlier, like towards because the basketball shootout has nothing to do with school. So,
No, but
judging
But
by
it's the end of the season,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, I would
That's
say
what I'm
it's the end
saying.
of the
So
season.
maybe the beginning of the movie is like the beginning of the senior basketball season around that late fall.
Yeah.
And then where we pick up for the shootout is throughout the
it
season.
didn't really seem like that much time had transpired.
It
for the
really
film
did. And it
either,
really
though.
only seemed like maybe a 2-week span, possibly. So
Oh wow! Then this is a really hard movie to pinpoint the month.
Yeah.
You would
Well,
think it would be easy with sports
because
but-
they're in New York City, and it starts snowing early as fucking New York City. Trust me.
And they
If
were
it was
playing in
too
shorts
far in the
and
winter?
t-shirts.
Yeah.
So
Huh?
they were playing in shorts and t-shirts too. So if it's New York and they're wearing that, it's got to be springtime.
Okay, fair enough.
So, either way, they are. He's transitioning. He's trying to figure out how he's going to get to college. He wants to go to.
Well, hold on though. We
Georgetown.
have to start with the opening sequence, which is so wonderfully bizarre.
Oh,
With Shep, who is played by Leon,
Oh, that's true.
who Corey doesn't know this because he's never seen good movies. Plays the lead role in Cool Runnings. Feel the rhythm, feel the ride. Watch out now, it's bobsled time. Cool Runnings.
wow.
He is the lead bobsledder in Cool Runnings, the guy who gets tripped up on the track, and he plays in this movie Tommy Shepard, who at the very beginning we see in high school with his friend. Who was that? Who was that friend?
Was it Gizmo?
Gizmo. Nutso.
Oh yeah,
Not
Nutso.
Gizmo.
Wait, Corey, did you?
Get about Nutso?
Yeah, I actually did.
Nutso? Nutso?
So
Nutso?
Oh
And-
Jesus!
Tommy, that was perfect. Netzo and Tommy, you're going back and forth, and okay, I did think this was interesting. While we were watching, Corey's like, really, they're talking a lot of shit to each other to be teammates, and I'm like, no, that's exactly
what
how teammates
do.
are. Yeah,
that's,
Like-
you automatically talk shit to them.
my best friend Mark and I, growing up, got into more fights than we ever finished a game peacefully with just an ending score. Most ended up with fists thrown. So that's just how it is. I mean, it's especially competition, and they're two elite high school athletes playing a one-on-one game, and then it comes down to a.
Where
They-
nothing is at stake.
They clearly don't play the same position though.
Oh no! Shep probably was a power forward.
Yeah. There's no way. I mean, the competition there doesn't necessarily have
I
to
would
be
say
there.
probably more of a point guard role for.
He had a good foot and a half on him trying to show off.
And they're playing in a warehouse.
No,
No,
it's
it's
the
on
ti-
a
it
roof.
was the roof of the school.
Oh, was it the roof?
Yeah, it was the roof of the school.
Yeah, that's why I was talking about that window.
Well, no, I
window.
thought it was a
Which
window in front of
window
him.
was not even there, which was kind of funny because it did like that. There was a window right next to the thing, and then there was the
Kinda like
skylight
yeah.
for the gym.
Okay, well, see, and
When
I
he
thought,
went over, there's no window there.
yeah, I know that's what I was
Yeah,
saying. Like
yeah,
it's, I thought they were in the top floor of a warehouse
no,
playing.
No. They
Okay,
were on
so
the roof of the school, which makes no sense.
so yeah,
Yeah,
they, and-
why would the school put a basketball goal on the roof?
There are in New York City. There are a lot of rooftop basketball courts, a lot of them, but they're usually surrounded by a big old
Fence.
chain link fence. So for that to just be
This
there like
one was
that-
not,
No, it was not.
unfortunately for-
and he challenged.
Nutso?
Tommy challenged.
You know,
I
the school
gave it
could-
to you.
You know the school.
Nutso?
the school could really be at fault here if there's no chain link fence.
Now that's
I'm thinking that wasn't supposed to be up there. I'm thinking like they may have put it up there and they snuck up there to play around or whatever to have their own private.
You thought
court.
the kids drilled the hole, laid the cement.
There was no hole. It was just like a street post. It was like a rigged up fucking basketball
okay.
hoop. There wasn't an actual like.
Well, we're getting way too far away from this. So it turns into a game of how high can you jump?
Right.
And this is a backboard. This is a wooden, cheap-ass plywood backboard.
Correct.
And Shep,
which has seen better days.
Shep jumps up, gets his hand way above the rim, and then it's turn, and he hits the backboard so hard, his hand goes through the backboard, and he goes off the roof and dies.
Which, by the way, like, who takes a running start from the far left side, then jumps up over towards the edge of the thing? Like, normally you come straight at it and you jump straight up to try to hit it. He went the weirdest route to get there and then sent himself over the edge.
At an angle. Well, yeah,
it's really weird.
Yeah.
But it's so they could get the shot.
And he dies.
Yeah, goes over the roof, off the roof,
and then we awaken to find that's when we first met Tommy Shepard.
Right,
he's our first.
He was having a nightmare. He was having a flashback and as a nightmare to what happened to his best friend and teammate. And then we go into the basketball game where we're seeing that Kyle Watson is the star basketball player for his team.
My pain, it runs deep. Share it with me.
Did you think that was somebody in the movie when you first saw it? Like when he's just sitting on the bed and then you hear,
I couldn't help but note your pain. My pain, it runs deep. Share it with me.
Did you think that was somebody on the screen?
Yeah.
I did. I swear to God, when I was a kid, I did too. I remembered that watching it. There's a few things like that I remembered as I was watching it that I always stuck out to me. But that was always one. Is I remember the first time watching it going, who the hell?
It's like, is there somebody else in there with him?
And if you listen, it sounds like Vince McMahon a little bit. Play back.
I couldn't help but note your pain. My pain, it runs deep. Share it with me.
Right there. Share it with me.
It runs deep.
It runs deep. You're fired.
See?
But yeah, we meet Shep, and then do you mind if I take the lead on this?
Go
by the way,
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm really excited about this one.
I know, and I'm doing a bad job of giving away my thoughts. But
your enthusiasm.
I guess we know
strong.
we'll start this one.
Should we just do it again?
No.
Oh, okay. If you listened to the last episode, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't, go back and listen to it. That's pretty mean. So Kyle, he's top recruit in the New York City area, and we come part on his first game, right?
Yeah,
and he did have a lot of that Iverson in him. I mean, really, if you think about it, maybe the movie was based on Iverson. He played a lot like Iverson did.
That's what I'm saying. I think they
a lot of grandstanding.
Smaller point guard, himself. Very athletic, very quick, really good ball handler. And an average to slight above average jump shot.
And I think he may have been going to college at the same time as Eric Montross.
I think so too. Well, yeah, because they based the lead bad guy from. I mean, bad guy.
Yeah,
his rival,
good outstanding white kid.
His rival player on the other team.
Yeah, who is basically it's Eric Montross. If you don't remember him, Google him. He was a huge college basketball player who became an NBA bust in the 90s.
Yes.
And at the end of the game comes down to a last shot. And as the game had been, as we were getting down to those, that last possession, in the gym walks Birdie, played by Tupac Shakur, who was a very underrated actor. And I actually read an article that said he probably would have won an Oscar, had he not died at 25. But he is surrounded by his entourage, which includes Marlon Wayans playing Boogaloo, and whatever the one dude, Motah. Wood Harris is who plays him, and he is the dude that looks like Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, he did.
He looked a lot like Tim Hardaway. When I was a kid, I thought that was Tim Hardaway.
I met Tim Hardaway once.
Really? How did that? Yeah. What happened? Where would you meet him at?
I was working at Sam Goody. Remember when it was at Circle Center?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I worked there for a while.
By the way, kids, that's a store that used to sell something called CDs, compact discs, and actually probably in Corey's day they were a big 8-track store.
We did sell cassettes still. But anyhow, he came in after they played the Pacers. He was with I think he was with Miami at the time, and he came in there and we're shopping and stuff, and so I got to meet him, got his autograph. Kevin Garnett came in there one other time. Mark Jackson.
So the answer to my question is no, nothing interesting happened with meeting him. You just met him.
Yeah.
But he was nice?
Yeah, he was cool. Actually, I don't know if I should tell this story or not.
Oh, you're worried Tim Hardaway might hear it?
Maybe, yes. No, he...
Did he use a gay slur? Because he's already been through that.
No, it was actually... There was one girl, a new girl that had started working there. He's like, who's that girl? I want to know who it was. I'm like, I don't know who she is. She just started, but I'm not even sure how old she was either.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to give her my UTEP 2-step. So, Tim...
You know, Corey was like, hold on, I'll find out if you give me an autograph. Will you do a bumper for me for my future podcast?
We'll talk about you.
What's a podcast? They come in and it kind of makes Kyle a little nervous, and he takes his coach tells him in the huddle to look for his teammates, and of course 3, 2, 1 he has a wide open muscle bound scrub underneath the rim, and he decides to take the heavily guarded jumper, misses,
and he breaks it off the rim.
By the way, he took that shot with like 4 seconds left, right?
I don't know. Probably.
There's a little bit of...
I think so.
There's a little bit of like... They have a little different idea of time than I do.
Yeah.
Because I played basketball. I don't think 4 seconds is enough time to take the shot, miss it, get the rebound, throw it... No. Throw it up the court, and have someone dunk it.
That's true. Yeah, there was a lot of time left. Maybe it's a shorter court, and they could get down faster. I don't know.
Just the jump shot, rebound, and turn alone should be time.
Yeah.
But... He loses the game for the team. He goes into the locker room. Coach is shitty. Coach plays.
Well, no, he goes to the refs to bitch them out. Then he goes to the recruiter.
Oh, well, the recruiter kind of approaches him and he just says, "Hi, how you doing?" And Kyle's like, "Hey, can you believe that fucking ref?" And he's like, "Hey, I can't talk to you." And Kyle he informs him that it's illegal, which wink, wink.
Yeah,
Kyle, you know. It's not allowed for me to talk to you without the presence of your coach. Now go pick up that duffel bag full of money that's in the Ferrari we left you behind the gym. So he goes in. Then he goes into the locker room after missing an opportunity to speak with his mom, who gets stopped by Shep, who is now a security guard at the high school. And in the locker room, Kyle's upset. He's getting shit from his teammates about not passing, and Baby Jordan is thrown around, and they all get into it. His friend Bobby has that look on him like, I want to be with you. Yeah, the point guard.
Yeah.
He was giving him those eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Little locker room romance.
Yeah, he did. Didn't he have that though the whole movie? Every time he just had that look to him like, oh, boo. And he calls Kyle Boo secretly. But they so they're leaving. He finds out he misses opportunity to talk to his mom, and that's where we meet Bugaloo. Okay, nobody's gonna jump in there or anything. Marlon Wayans.
Yeah. Sorry.
He is, by the way, Marlon Wayans is to me one of those other guys. He's an underrated actor.
I think that I agree with you, and on one point for me, like everything I've seen him in, like he always acts like he always does the whole silly thing, but when he wants to, he can be pretty straightforward and a pretty good actor. It just seems like he always just kind of plays out as the.
Well, look at Requiem for a Dream, the movie that scares this guy.
Well, I haven't seen that yet. So.
He's really good in it. He plays a heroin junkie.
Okay,
and he's really good as a heroin junkie.
He was really good in Senseless with David Spade.
Well, and he obviously has the I was really because at some point in the movie, Birdie kicks him off the shootout squad, and I was like, oh, obviously you haven't seen his work for the University of Washington. You get his dead brother Kadeem Hardison out there on that court. Get that ghost out there. This kid will put up 30 points a half. But
he's a good hockey player too.
Is that what he was in Senseless?
Yeah, there's no senseless joke.
Hang on, folks. No.
No? Oh.
I actually like that there's 2 senseless jokes in the episode.
It seemed like you were looking for that too long for it to be a good one, positive.
No, it's because it was already on the bad one.
Oh.
That's what I prepare for.
It was preset.
Yeah, it was already on the Loser Game Show sound, so I had to scroll down.
Nice.
But
Didn't expect that one, did ya?
basically, Marlon Bugaloo is his childhood friend, and
Who was
used
away,
to play.
who was away in jail.
Yeah, who was away in jail. They used to play basketball together, and this is where he ditches Bobby, and Bobby has those longing eyes.
Like, why are you going to leave me?
And he tells him he's taking him to Birdie's club.
I was gonna tell him I love him.
This was going to be the day.
I'm so sad now.
You messed up my joke, by the way. Didn't I make that joke while we were watching? It's tonight's the night I was going to tell him. That's the joke. See how much smoother that
You
is?
stepped on your shit and did it wrong.
Well, no. I thought it was just a joke I was making amongst the 3 of us. I didn't realize I was writing for this guy over here.
Recycle it.
He didn't even recycle it right.
I know, that's
He's
fun.
fucking
I
what you
took
do.
I took it and made it my own.
Which was worse? You made it worse.
Stick to the script, motherfucker. Stick to the script.
We're not scripts here. We're all that lid.
So, yeah, he takes him to the club, and Kyle is overwhelmed by just all of the
Attention.
ass. A lot of ass. I mean, it's what you would imagine, a
God,
90s nightclub would be like in New York City. It was, right? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
red lighting,
Yep.
it was very dark through most of it.
The VIP area, Birdie's VIP, the booth.
Oh yeah, the booth. Well, the whole upstairs was the VIP
Yeah.
area, and Birdie takes Kyle up there and basically kind of kisses his ass a little bit
And mainly because he wants him to be
play on
his
the shootout team, which
on
is the
team,
shootout.
right.
By the way, we'll keep referencing that. The shootout is it's the big street ball tournament at the end of the movie.
Which did anyone see what the it was just a bragging rights thing?
No. I mean,
Was
Birdie had money on it?
Oh, okay.
That's what he said. I have too much money on
No,
this
I
game.
understand that, but like that's Birdie's.
I'm sure there was
prize.
some sort of cash prize, or maybe a trophy. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure there was cash.
I was just kind of wondering what it was. They put a whole lot of production.
I didn't
into that.
see anything like I don't remember them announcing anything.
Yeah, that's a whole lot
it
of
wasn't
production for
important
what
to
it
the
was.
story.
Yeah.
Just ignored it.
So
I like how
he's
he was able to slide H-Town into this episode.
that was pretty smooth, right? Getting it all sexy time up in here. It's getting late, so in the zoo kitchen.
It's the aquarium, actually.
Oh yeah. The aquatic kitchen. So basically, Kyle tells him he's supposed to be playing on his coach's team, and he tells him just to think about it, and he buys him a hooker, and Kyle goes on his way. Meanwhile, just to kind of like work through this, basically Shepard falls for Kyle's mom,
Right.
and they start hitting it off, which pisses off Kyle, throws him off his game. One of the in fact, Vic, I'm gonna let you take it back over because I know I got other stuff I want to add, and I don't want to forget anything. So, jump in after the club scene, after the Birdie club scene. Is that the next morning where
That's
he
where-
goes to play basketball with Marlon at the park, right?
Yeah. Him and Boogaloo go to play at the park, and as they're playing, they're doing one-on-one. Flip shows up, who is an old classmate of Shep's, which I'm assuming what we find out has happened overall is that when this whole thing happened and Shep's best friend passed away, Shep ended up going to prison, and their team fell apart. So they were like the team to beat in their school and in their district, and everybody they were like the
Champions.
superstars, champions of the world. And when that whole
Never
thing
tell you
went
what
down,
we was.
Yep, when the whole thing went down, Flip and the rest of the team probably just went down with him.
Did I miss where they said why he went to jail?
They didn't explain why, but it had to do with him dying.
Those are some terrible investigators.
It's New York City. They assume he pushed him off the roof or something. It's the way it was.
I mean, it's an investigation.
You're talking about that was
He didn't even
70s.
say he went to jail. He just said they took you off in handcuffs. You being carried away in handcuffs. They didn't say you
kind of implying
in
it.
jail. No, it's implying that Nutso laying on the ground, you in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
They took him in for questioning. Yeah, he's the only witness.
But I'm also thinking, though, because he disappeared right after that and never came back. So he either went to jail or he just took off. But he's a high school student. Where did he take off to? I'm assuming he ended up going to juvie or something like that. But Birdie is pissed off at him for one. And ends up coming at him after he he goes in. They go after Flip, and Flip wants to play ball with him, and he's trying to show him out. He's trying to show off.
What about Flip? It's a goddamn shame what happened to Flip.
He's trying to show off, and Flip is Flip's got a little bit of game for a homeless guy. He's putting.
Oh, he had no game at all, Vic.
Come on, give the old man a pick.
No, that was the whole point. No game.
He wasn't going to beat the young buck, but he was still trying. He was playing. They beat him. Whatever the game that they were playing is, I didn't catch the name. Did you catch the name of what it was they were playing? What the name of it was?
Just first one to score.
Yeah, but there's a name to it.
No. They're playing for bunks, I believe is what it is.
Which basically means if you lose, you get your ass whipped.
You get kicked in the ass.
Yeah,
you get kicked. Yeah, the winner gets to kick you in the ass.
So he plays him. He hits him a couple times. He fakes him out, jukes him a few times. Never actually shoots on him for 3 shots before he finally puts it in and
playing one on bum. That's a great line.
That is a great line. So once he gets done messing with him, that Shep shows up because they're giving him a hard time. And when Shep shows up and steps in, you find out, and Flip walks off, and he's like, they don't know what that's all about. You're a typical old bum that's just reliving his glory days before he was a bum.
Mm-hmm.
So they step out. They challenged him to a basketball. They challenged him to play, didn't they? And he just walked away too.
Yeah.
So he's adamant about not playing basketball, even though he will go to the basketball court in the middle of the night and play shadow ball.
Playing ball without a ball
on a regular basis. And
that's also such a great scene because that's where they drive up and pull up on the either the drug dealer or somebody that owes him for drugs.
I think that they're his
the guy that worked for him. Yeah,
they're his pushers, and he's there to collect.
He beats the shit out of him and pistol whips one. And then gets back in the car.
I was like, what if the dude just hadn't sold it all yet? Like, what if he still had it on? He's like, I got the product. Here's the money I've made so far.
Better be selling it faster.
Yeah, you gotta have it.
Can't be having that product sit.
Bitch better have my money.
But the best part is when he gets back in the car after pistol whipping and beating the guys up, and Marlon Wayans is like, you need a role model.
You need a hug or
something. That's so funny. Marlon Wayans is great in this.
He is. He actually does a really good job. So where are we at?
After they've seen Shep playing night basketball and
assaulted his employees,
then basically it just becomes kind of a thing between Kyle and Shep and him dating his mom.
Yeah.
Until we get to the big tournament.
Well, before that, one thing, the Shep actually goes back to the school, and the coach is talking about retiring. He's been doing this for a long time.
Oh, yeah. And he
wants out, and he offers the job to
well,
Shep.
And then, and he at first, earlier in the movie, disagrees. Then he reluctantly accepts.
Right.
And has, no sense of sarcasm. Because the coach, he's like, I'm here to talk to you about that job. What job? What job? Remember the one that you asked me about? I offered you a job. Well, that was dumb of me. Why would I ever do something like that? I guess you didn't. Like he's Eeyore through the whole movie.
Okay, I guess I'll go away now.
My tail stapled on. But he
stapled.
Yeah, then he eventually.
It's a pin.
Oh well, whatever. I didn't have time to Google. So
that's even better.
I do a pretty good Eeyore though.
That's even better.
I think you just added that to your repertoire.
Maybe we recast Eeyore in a bunch of stuff.
Eeyore's being recast in this.
In this, yeah, as Birdie. As Birdie. Just because a person's born in your family doesn't mean he stays family. It's amazing the things you do pick up. Like cutting up cocaine. But Birdie, oh no, where were oh, the coach.
Laughed herself completely out.
I don't even remember where we were. I know we talked about Shep and taking the coaching offer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so then
well, there's the final game of the actual basketball season where he plays really terrible and gets kicked out because he saw.
Oh yeah, and then he gets smacked.
Yeah,
this kid has no self-control whatsoever. Like everything just throws him off his game. But he sees Shep's kind of wooing his mom, and he doesn't like it. Then he sees them at the basketball game, which throws him off even more. And then his arch rival is picking on him throughout the game, and he ends up fouling him when no one's paying any attention, even though there's two refs, God knows how many coaches. Nobody sees the fact that he pushes him, so he pushes him back and gets ejected from the game. Then throws a hissy fit about that and gets completely ejected, taken out. And for whatever reason, the other security guard takes him downstairs to the locker room. And they're talking to him. He's like, "What the hell good is this going to do?" And as he's beating a locker up with a chair.
Mm-hmm. And and then Shep makes the mistake of getting involved.
Yep, he steps in and he gives a piece of his mind about, "Don't be trying to date my mom's." I don't know why they add that fucking S onto the end of that all the time. It drives me nuts. That's my mom's. Like, yeah, okay.
And
then he walks away all slowly.
Well, no, then mom shows up.
Well, no. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, mom shows up, and she's like, he tries to talk smack to her. He gets ready to try to. What did he say to her? He said something.
She said, "You better apologize."
Oh, and
and he said, "Fuck that."
Yeah, and she smacked the shit out of him. They get to the point where they're preparing for the basketball shootout, and Birdie's.
Well, first they have the one-on-one game. Kyle and Shep.
Oh yeah, big one-on-one. So yeah, he comes in and he wants to prove to him that he he's the best. Kyle
I couldn't believe he played that well with the ball. Like he's used to not have, he's not used to not having it.
Well, it's like shadow boxing. He goes so much faster, and then when the actual thing starts, you're that much better.
And he
just eats him alive.
Yeah, you figure out he's got game.
Yeah, every shot he tries to take, he just grabs it out of the air. Though he has 3 feet on him, it seems like. Mm-hmm. So every time he goes up, he just snatches the ball from him.
Well, Kyle's 5'11".
And Kyle wants to take it like a man. He assumes the position once he loses. He's ready to take his kick.
And then, and I wish I would have gotten this audio, but then Shep goes into some weird thing where he starts talking to Nutso.
Yeah, he's like, "Nutso, do you see this? He wants my help.
You see this, Nutso?
We even now?
Are we even?
We even now?"
I'd be like, "Bro, you are Nutso."
You have now taken on the role.
Nutso.
Can you imagine what that kid was really like if his name was Nutso?
But how could I?
Get about Nutso.
So
Nutso.
He wins.
Nutso.
God, this is the new
Nutso
thing from Masters of the Universe.
Right.
The what?
The new cosmic key.
Yeah, the new cosmic key.
Did somebody say my name?
Nutso.
All right.
He assumes a position to take his kick, and God damn it.
Okay. I'm done.
And Shep walks away, and he doesn't take it. He just kind of walks away, which is what he always does. He just kind of steps off.
I'll just go over here.
Now he had decided he was leaving. I'm not quite sure why he decided he needed to leave. He obviously, his brother was giving him a hard time, which we find out that Birdie is his little brother. That he's pissed off at him for disappearing and not taking care of his mother, and apparently his mother passed away while he was gone. But he is. Oh, you know what? I forgot all about Flip. Poor Flip.
Oh yeah, Flip gets cut up with the it's a goddamn shame what happened to Flip.
So they're talking about he's talking about leaving. He wants to take off, and as he comes, he kind of comes to his senses, and he's about to leave, and he sees two kids playing on the basketball court. He has the cab driver pull off, and he stares at these two kids, which has to be kind of weird for those kids, but they notice that there's this dude staring at them.
Well, and a combination of it was a combination of because Kyle ends up leaving Birdie's squad.
Right.
And it was a combination
Because-
of murdering Flip
Right.
and of kicking Boogaloo off the team. Boogaloo off the team.
Right. Was he? Well, it was him kicking. It was him kicking Boogaloo off because Boogaloo told him what happened afterwards. didn't
Well,
he?
yeah, well, to kick Boogaloo off, and then he's the one that told
Yeah.
him Flip was murdered by
And he was
Birdie.
like, "I'm done."
And he went to go find him, and that's when Shepard told him Birdie
Right.
murdered him, and they played. And then he decided the next day he's going to go back and play for his
Yeah.
old coach, his old high school coach. And his high school coach was like, "You want to play for me again? What are you?"
Not so.
So
You guys keep saying Boogaloo, and I just keep thinking Electric Boogaloo.
That's what I keep thinking too. Every
I
time
keep
hear it,
thinking
hearing
of
that.
Baloo,
Baloo.
the bear from
Bear.
Jungle
It's
Book.
the bare necessities.
Come on, Kyle. Give your old friend Baloo the rock. And yeah, they get to the game, and surprise, the Bombers, which is the high school team
Right.
with like the white guy
Yeah, the one white guy.
playing like that Princeton offense, and then Birdie's squad of thugs,
What the hell were they
As-
called? I don't even remember what they were called now.
Birdmen.
Or were they?
They were the Birdmen.
Okay. 'Cause
They make it to the finals.
He's that narcissistic.
Yes. Shockingly, both squads get to the finals
Right.
and have a date with Destiny. Birdie informs Kyle that he's going to try to jeopardize his
His chance of
college
going to
eligibility by revealing that he gave him money and gifts. Let's not get into that. Nope. Nope.
There's a long story behind it.
Yes. So we get to the game, and in the first half, the Birdmen are destroying them. They're playing dirty. They're throwing elbows. They're hurting players to the point where they only have 4 guys left.
Right.
Then who shows up?
Old Shep comes in like the sheriff wearing a what was that?
Khaki slacks.
Khakis and it's like a sweater, like a
It
thin
actually-
sweater.
Yeah, it looked like a what do they call them?
I know. I can't think of like the 3 buttons here and their long
Yeah.
sleeve and their
Thermal.
No, not a thermal though. It was because it was more like a sweater material.
Yeah.
But anyways, so not what you would play
The
basketball.
British would
in.
call it a jumper.
Well, and he not only was there earlier in the movie, the coach had told him he was going to put him on his shootout team just in case.
Right.
And so he is eligible
Sure
to play.
enough, he walks in
So he
and
puts a jersey
It's a
on
good
over the
thing he
sweater.
just happened to
Birdie
do
was
that.
pissed off because he's like, he's not even on their team.
And then that changes everything.
Yep.
Shep balls out. And then, I don't know if you guys can tell what's going to happen at the end. Yet again, another timing issue here. He steals the ball with 3 seconds left, dribbles it up to the 3-point line, and throws an oop
Yep.
to Kyle, who dunks it for the win.
Yep.
Yep.
Probably 1 second left on the clock.
It was midair.
Maybe. And so this does not sit well with Birdie.
No, not at all.
Not at all. He's not happy.
He's not going to let his brother show him up, and not going to let this kid who should have been on his team and or should have honored his throwing the game, which is what he was doing
Yeah. And
in
so
order to secure his college ride. He tells his main soldier
Motah.
to handle his business.
And he gets the gun out of the bag and walks up. And this entire time, though, what's his name? Shep has made sure to keep watch.
Yeah, he's got eyes on Motah, and he's
been watching him the whole time.
And he's walking up. He's got his hand in the bag. He starts to walk up. Everyone else sees Motah and starts separating.
First there was a big commotion, and Shep, who is being surrounded by adoring fans, sees what's going down and sees Kyle's in trouble.
Right.
So he starts moving through the crowd. And Shep just darts across the court, moving through the people, pushing him out of the way.
As the people separate.
And then, as the people around Kyle run like cowards.
And don't say a word to him.
No. And Motah pulls out the gun. And Kyle looks at his future in the eyes.
Flashing before his eyes.
His light flashing before.
Yep.
But then,
just as the shot wings out,
Shep, faster than a speeding bullet,
jumps in front of it, knocking Kyle to the ground.
And Shep saves the day.
And then a New York City police officer pulls who I think was that the ref? Was he the ref?
I don't know where that dude came from.
No,
like,
he was just, I think, in the crowd. He was wearing like
Was
a
he?
jacket and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought he was a ref for
It
a
wasn't
minute
the
when I
ref.
first saw it. I was like, man, those refs take this game serious. So he shoots him once, and he doesn't drop the gun,
Yeah, and he starts to even turn around.
and he shoots him again.
And then
Motah's dead.
they have whatchamacallit, blah blah blah, the paramedics and stuff.
Yeah.
Take him out, and it looks like he's gonna die.
Well, the mom is sitting there, and he kind of, I wasn't sure, and he like lifted his arm up and grabbed her hand. So at that point, I was like, oh, he must not have taken it too bad. Even though look, that shot, when he took that shot, he was doing the thug side shot. He fired the gun, and it was pointing down, like towards his legs, like he was going to put him in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, so that he'd live and have to suffer. But somehow Shep, who's at least 1.5 feet taller than this kid, took it in the chest.
And didn't he have his back to the shooter too?
He just pushed him out of the way, and he took it to the chest. I'm not quite sure how the bullet. He bent the bullet. Something happened, but he survives.
And we then see, like a year later, Kyle is playing in the ACC conference tournament.
Now I have to say the way they did this footage was great.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't the ACC then. It was the Big East. Sorry, Big East, because it was Georgetown.
Yeah. The way that they were able to put him in this, I don't know how they did this. I'm guessing they went and shot it at halftime of a Georgetown game and just threw
No,
Georgetown jersey on him.
no.
Did you see people on there that were actual Georgetown players?
No, you thought Georgetown University at halftime of one of their games is like, oh yeah, keep John Thompson out there for filming, guys.
Did you see him in any of the shots with them? No.
Yeah, wasn't he coming out of the huddle?
Yeah, but they could have used that from the game.
I doubt they still used it from an actual game. I'm guessing just normal way they do it. It probably wasn't even the real Georgetown gym.
They go to the school. They say, "Hey, can we get a bunch
They
of your
probably used a
uniforms?"
high school.
Well, I'm saying that the other basketball players were all actors, but the footage they got of John Thompson, there was none of the actors were in that.
Oh no,
shot,
I'm sure
so
that
that's
they.
probably
Yeah.
stuff that
No,
Okay, well maybe they just used stock John
Yeah.
Thompson footage.
I'm
That's what
sure.
I'm saying,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure.
But then why would they have to record the basketball scenes during an actual game?
Just the way it was shot, the way it was shot to look like on TV and stuff. The way they did that.
Well,
I
they
thought
also
was-
showed it to you at first on a TV.
I know that's what I'm saying. I thought it looked good.
Okay, but that still doesn't mean they actually had it. They can recreate that.
They can.
Yeah, you get.
Hey,
there's
he's
this
the
thing called
filmmaker.
extras.
He's the filmmaker.
Wait, is that is that why you haven't made a film in 8 years because you're too worried that you have to get it that realistic?
God damn.
I want to do this thing with dragons, but we ain't found any yet.
You gotta take some of the pressure off yourself, brother.
I want to, yeah. You don't have to actually find Bigfoot. A guy in a suit will do just fine.
We can make a Bigfoot stamp and make them think that it's.
I could probably kind of play a blurry Bigfoot. I'm pretty hairy. Hey, look at this.
Just that long distance shot. What the?
Yeah,
tree to tree.
if you blur me out and I do this, I'm by the way, I'm doing that pose, the Bigfoot pose.
This is great. That's great for a podcast.
But that's pretty common knowledge, right? The
Yeah.
Bigfoot pose.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that one.
Definitely.
Do you
All
think
right.
that's real? By the way,
Oh, I like that we go from above the rim to big.
Well, he asked you a question. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
No.
okay, I don't either. So
You're just testing him.
Kyle hits a three.
What if he had said yes? Where would this have gone?
Oh God.
We'll never know.
The verbal beating.
It would have been a lot of loser game shows. So it was, yeah. So Kyle, they're down. We pick up in the game down 2. Kyle hits a 3 on a poorly drawn up play. I give John Thompson much more credit than that to design a play that allows 3 defenders to be within arm's reach of the main shooter.
Though he did pass the ball in order to get himself in a position to take that shot.
No, because you know what's coming back.
Yeah.
Like that's still not a good
But
attitude.
he would have tried to fight his way through it and just shoot it himself prior to that.
And it did look a little Iverson-ish,
Yeah.
especially with him wearing the very baggy jersey
And going to Georgetown.
in Georgetown. Yeah, so I give you a lot of credit on that spot.
Hey, thank you.
And then that's the movie.
That's it.
All right, so
Well, they show that Shep and his mom are together.
yes, they show
show
Shep and his mom
and the
coach are watching the
so they're all
game.
proud.
So
lives.
that is Above the Rim. That's our wrap up. We're getting ready to we're gonna hit the break.
Hit the break.
All right, you're listening to the Showdown podcast. We'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Tickets are on sale now for the 3rd annual Shocktober in Irvington, presented by the Obsessive Viewer podcast. Join the hosts of the Obsessive Viewer on October 14th, 2016 at the Irving Theater for a one-night event screening of short horror films, including the premiere screenings of J.P. Lex The Roman, the latest entry in his cross-medium Elsewhere World universe, as well as the latest slasher from Snapshot Productions and Billy and Brandon Watch Movies. All of this and so much more. Come celebrate the horror genre in the historic Irvington area and get a chance to meet the filmmakers with live interviews after each screening. You can also win DVDs, Blu-rays, and gift cards to Irvington businesses. Tickets are on sale now at shocktoberinirvington.com. All proceeds will go directly to the Irvington Historical Society. And we will see you at the Irving Theater on October 14th. That is, if you dare.
It's commercial time. All right, Corey, tell the people.
You can find me at...
It's my time. You can find me at MillerKing51 on social media. Also at Black and Angry on Xbox Live. That's BLAQ and Angry.
All right, Corey. That was pretty rough to go through. I feel bad for you. Go ahead.
All right. You can find me on Twitter and
Oh, you know why you didn't see that coming? Because you can't see me. You can find me at BradScottComedy.com, Twitter and Instagram at BradScottComedy, and on Facebook, comedian Brad Scott. All right, now that joke's old now. Corey?
All right, good. You can find me on Twitter and...
Oh, you audio is done, but no! The joke's still funny, Corey. You can find The Showdown at The Showdown Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and The Showdown Podcast on Facebook. Click like somebody should. All right, Corey.
I'm on Letterboxd and Twitter at NKOGonzo.
All right, let's get back to the show.
Holla if you hear me. Here we go, turn it up, let's start.
We are back. Thank you very much for listening to the Showdown Podcast. We have a correction. We forgot a huge part of the ending of the movie. You're probably wondering, whatever happened to Birdie? He just gets away scot-free after Motal tries to commit a crime for him? No.
Nope.
Should have never fucked with Boogaloo.
Should have kicked him off that team.
Yep. He shows up at the club and shoots him in the chest.
Goodbye.
And then just walks away.
Yep.
And,
Nobody cared.
Yep. And so and then we get the big basketball sequence. So, yes, our apologies. Vic caught that during the break, and we apologize. But yes, Birdie dies. Kind of foreshadowing.
Yikes.
Rest in peace, Flip.
Rest in peace, and Birdie.
No.
Okay.
Burn
So
it
we have come to part of the show where we let you know what our thoughts are and whether the movie survives in our Survivor Series Hall of Fame or not, whether it makes it or not. I guess I'll start.
I think everybody knows where this one's headed.
I think no surprise. I'm not even gonna draw it out for suspense. I'm just going to get it out and get it over with like a Band-Aid. I'm just going to pull it off real quick. I'm not going to keep everybody waiting. And, like the big talent show like American Idols and award shows do where they tease you and then they keep you waiting and you're like,
mean
come
like
on,
you're
get
doing
it.
right
It's one
now?
of your
Longest fucking get straight to it ever.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to jump right to it. I'm just going to get it, cut to the chase. I'm not going to beat around the bush.
Hey, Seacrest, you want to get on with it?
Hey, Seacrest. Oh my God. How outdated is that? Show's not even on anymore. Was he even in the last season?
Yeah, he was.
He was?
Yeah. What do you want me to call you, Dunkelman?
Oh, that's my buddy. Leave him out of it. I like him. He's a good person.
Okay, maybe. Okay, well, I'll update it.
You did make reference to American Idol, though. You did bring that on yourself.
I could have called you Nick Cannon. Would you? Would you
very much
that?
brought that on yourself.
Notice how I've gotten you guys to help me draw out the suspense? That's pretty smart, right? So, yes, it survives for me. I love this movie. I've never stopped loving it. I'm the one that brought the DVD over. I watched it so many times when I was a kid, just constantly, especially every time basketball season would start. It was kind of my get hyped for the year movie. And then every summer during, like before morning workouts we had to do in the summer, I'd watch it. So I loved it. Great movie. One of my all-time favorites. I think it's easy. I think it's like in my top 10. So, Corey.
Yeah, like I said earlier.
No! Just when you thought it was safe to get back on the microphone, the black man steps in to tell you how he feels about this movie. How I feel about this movie is this. I actually did not like this movie when I first saw it. But over the years, watching it over and over again, I actually came to really appreciate how good the movie actually is. So had you have asked me a couple years ago if I liked this movie, it wouldn't have made it. But now, watching it again, I actually realize how much I do enjoy this movie. So for me, it makes it.
All right.
So I guess that just leaves me, and it doesn't matter what I have to say.
It doesn't matter what you think.
It doesn't matter.
But really, Corey, tell us what you think.
No, I was going to say before I was really interrupted that it was the first time I saw it. I didn't really have any aspirations. And actually, I kind of felt like you felt going into the Roadhouse episode where you didn't really want to watch it.
It's because there were black people on it, wasn't it?
Yes. No.
That's the entire reason.
Oh, is this the true story of John Stockton and Larry Bird? with Larry Bird's crazy friend Kurt Rambis?
His nickname was Boogaloo too. That's the sequel.
Yeah. I did not like it. Good soundtrack, but other than that, I didn't really care.
I knew exactly that's what he's going to say. That's why he wanted to go second. He wanted to create the suspense as to whether it was going into the Hall of Fame or not. But Vic just killed your thunder, and honestly, it was worth it. It was worth it. I knew where you were going, so I was like, okay, that's smart. We'll go to Corey next so that we have a 1-1 decision, and it's all up to Vic. But I like what he did so much better. And we all know it's in the Hall of Fame. I'm so happy. This night has worked out perfect. Happy birthday to me.
It's not even your birthday.
My birthday was May. We recorded this the same night as the last episode.
Stop bringing down the fourth wall.
I know. I'm just tearing that fourth wall down. So, all right. Moving on. It survives. Corey is like the critics. We are like the people. And we say more than 100% certified fresh. So welcome.
Wait, for it to be certified fresh here, wouldn't it have to be all three of us be at 100%?
No. So, let's get into one of our favorite things to do on this show is recast, and that is where we use current modern day people who are more well known actors and everything else to recast this movie. But I'm doing a first for the showdown.
Yes,
I'm adding a rule to the recast.
Okay,
I'm going to make it a little more difficult because I know exactly where probably both of you were going with Dwayne Martin. Michael B. Jordan is not allowed to be cast in this movie. He's busy doing something else. He is not available. Now, work.
All right. What was Tupac's? No.
Birdie.
What was his brother's name?
Shep.
That was Shep.
Shep. Cuba Gooding Jr.
That's his go-to for everything.
I was going to say Will Smith.
No,
Cuba's put on some pounds. Do you see him in that OJ thing?
Yeah, but he could take that back off.
Real quick fact, you know what Cuba Gooding Jr. likes to do to break up the monotony of shooting on set?
What's that, Brad?
He likes to take off his clothes. Get naked.
Fuck.
That's a true thing.
All right. I'm not real sure I want to know why you know that fact.
Birdie, Lil Wayne.
Or you go Little John.
No, because little John. Yeah, well, he wouldn't hear everybody.
He should.
He would never hear. He
It
would
should
never
be
hear
Birdman. Well, we'll keep it simple. It should be Birdman, so he can put some respect on his name. You just keep yelling that the entire movie.
Hey, Shep, now is y'all done or are y'all finished?
Y'all better put some respect on my name. Okay. Flip. Samuel L. Jackson.
That's a good one. That's an easy one, but that's a
Yeah,
good
I was
one.
gonna say that's an easy one.
Give me that motherfucking basketball.
How about Nia Long for the mom?
That's a good one. Or Jada Pinkett.
We can put Jada and Will in there together. Why don't we do this?
Because they end up together.
What are you gonna have, Jada?
No!
Don't make us hit you.
Kyle can't be a douche. Maybe he could be Boogaloo. So you're Kyle Lee Watson.
Who was that?
Dwayne Martin.
Oh,
The star basketball player. The main star of the movie.
Jaden Smith.
Kyle Lee Watson's a country-ass name. You really going to go Jaden Smith?
No, I was just adding to the joke.
You realize that there are not very many young black actors in Hollywood right now. You taking Michael B.
Okay,
Jordan out of the story?
so maybe it doesn't have to be black. You know
no,
what?
he
We're always breaking down barriers. Could be Asian, Hispanic, white. Wait a minute. What about for Shep? What about The Rock? Except for it's gonna be really hard to find somebody to like knock him to the ground for that one scene.
All right, so Kyle Watson, Bow Wow.
That's not bad.
He did a basketball movie before.
Oh my God, does that be like Mike
Like that.
or like Mike? Oh, man, I'm actually right now. I'm also trying to think of like an actual basketball player.
Well,
Kyrie Irving.
I was going to say Stephon Marbury because
He's too busy eating Vaseline and crying. You remember that?
No.
Did you ever see that? You know what I'm talking about, Vic?
No.
So like 2009, like when those like live streams were getting kind of popular, where people were just live streaming their life, you know? Stephon Marbury had one, and one night he was just in the camera. There's some song playing, and he was crying, and he was eating Vaseline. Have you ever heard of this, Vic?
No.
Apparently his grandmother said it was a remedy for a sore throat, but he ate a lot. And he was just eating Vaseline, just scooping it out and eating it.
That's really fucking weird.
And well, no, everybody's like, oh, he's on drugs and he's crazy.
Black grandmothers do have some strange remedies for some shit, though. So I would probably say that that's probably something his grandmother told him.
Mm-hmm.
I got it for Boogaloo. I got one for Boogaloo. Everybody hates Chris. I can't remember that kid's name.
Oh, the dude that was in Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Tyler?
I can't remember his name.
Something like that? Tyler something?
Something like that.
That's not a bad one. But he doesn't... Marlon Wayne's a little athletic. He doesn't look athletic at all.
That kid's pretty tall now, and he's put some size on himself.
I just saw him in something too. Oh, Ballers. He was on Ballers. He had a really small role. He plays like an equipment manager
on Ballers.
On Ballers for the Dolphins.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I didn't notice him in that.
Mm-hmm. Man, yeah, you're right. It is kind of like the Tupac one is easy because you could just kind of go with rappers.
Yeah. DMX.
Ooh, DMX would be good. He's a good actor too.
I gave you your cue.
Everybody.
I gave you your cue.
DMX would be perfect for Motah. The crazed henchman.
Yeah.
He would be perfect for that. But DMX has a little bit of that in him too, where he can do kind of that, like the part that it would remind me of is remember the part where like when Birdie's talking throughout the club and he's just kind of real laid back. You know, being alone makes you stronger. Like that, DMX can pull that off really well.
Boyega.
Which one was that?
The Star Wars kid.
The Star Wars kid?
The kid from Star Wars. The black kid from Star Wars 7.
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan Boyega? John Boyega?
I thought you were talking about a character in the movie. I'm like,
no, he could be. He actually plays a pretty good thug in one of the movies he was in called what's the one where the Attack the Block. Yep.
Yeah, but he turned.
He turned.
Ray Allen for Shep.
Ray Allen.
He's already been Jesus Shuttlesworth.
That's what I was thinking of earlier when I said that he got game. I thought it was Stephon Marbury.
So okay, I think we've kind of ran this into the ground.
We've run out of young black people to play the characters. Who's going to be the old white coach?
Brian Doyle Murray.
Who is that?
Bill Murray's brother. He was the boss in Christmas Vacation.
Brian Dennehy.
Oh, jeez.
He's dead.
Huh?
He's dead.
So what?
Oh, man. Well, no, it'd be weird. It'd be a whole weekend of Bernie's thing, and then it'd be a drama.
Well, it was a drama.
What's his name? The comedian, White.
Ron White?
Ron White.
No. Pass the ball, Kyle. They call me Tater Salad.
Have you seen him in Extras?
No.
Have you seen that show?
No.
It's fucking hilarious, and he does like great in that.
What about Forrest Whitaker?
Oh Jesus! As what? As Flip?
Kyle, you got to pass the ball.
He could be Flip.
Oh. So what about recasting one of our Showdown favorites as Birdie? What if you go, like, not only, I mean, it's 2016. We're all about giving equality and breaking down things. So what if you change Birdie from a tough, thugged out black rapper, male rapper, to a white pop singer, female, named Miley Cyrus? Corey will be reading, for this part, he will be reading Kyle. And Miley will be Birdie, so Go ahead.
Is he your brother, Birdie?
He used to be, buddy.
What does that mean?
Just because a motherfucker's born into your family don't mean you stay family. All right? That motherfucker ain't shit, buddy. He don't care about me, you, nothing, y'all. Okay? Understand? Buddy? Okay, so, and Corey, do you want to scroll all up to the very first thing?
Okay.
And this time Corey will be Shep.
I'm Shep.
And he will be reading it in the voice of Owen Wilson.
Oh, Jesus. This is not playing. Okay.
I thought Shep was supposed to be Eeyore.
Well, you want me to just do both?
He wants you to do all the work anyway.
You want me to do? Okay, I'll do a showdown first. Okay. I'll read both.
You're gonna read both.
So this is we by the way, we might want to explain that joke again, that we have Eeyore as Shep.
Yes, because
Shep, they just have the same demeanor through the entire movie.
Constantly, whenever Shep would walk away, he just had this look on his face like Eeyore.
Wait, did we make that joke on the podcast?
Yeah,
I think.
Okay, I couldn't remember. It was starting all blending together.
I'll read it. I'll read it as Eeyore.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You think I came back here to work for you?
Come on, man. We buddies. Wouldn't have you working for me. We be partners, y'all.
What? Selling that shit? Are you that dumb?
Who the fuck you think you're talking to, buddy? This ain't nutso. This ain't that dopehead on the roof taking orders from you, y'all. This ain't your same little brother falling behind you trying to go outside, buddy. You ain't the motherfucking man no more. I'm the man. Shit has changed, buddy. It's a new day, bro. If you can't clean up your act, y'all, I suggest you raise the fuck up and get the hell out of Dodge, buddy. Or get called up, y'all.
Okay.
And scene. That has been the Showdown Podcast, waking up Corey's wife and daughter with Miley Cyrus, who I'm sure.
Eeyore.
And well, no, Eeyore just kind of moped through that. So we've got our recasting done. Is there anything else?
Thoughts?
Any final thoughts? It goes into the Hall of Fame.
Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Much to my chagrin. We've had a lot of them going in.
He's going to hate John Cena more than he already does.
Very much so.
Don't worry, we just have to wait a few more seconds. It goes away. All right, we have been the Showdown Podcast. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, rate, review on iTunes, all that good stuff. How'd you guys feel about this one?
Well, I know how Corey feels about it.
I'm still upset that it's going in the Hall of Fame. I was going to say that we've had a lot going in lately, though. Think about it.
I'll tell you one we didn't.
I don't want to relive that.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Above the rim.
Makes it in.
All right. Thank you, Showdowners, for listening. For Corey Miller, Vic Miller, I'm Brad Scott. Keep your feet on the ground and your hands above the rim. That was awful.
What the hell are they, Mr. Fantastic?
Some people will do anything to take their favorite video games everywhere they go. But now Tiger gives you all the fun and excitement of your favorite arcade game in the palm of your hand. Games like Jordan vs. Bird. 7-game variations make going one-on-one with your favorite basketball heroes a real matchup of thrills and action. Also coming soon from Tiger, Double Dragon, Gauntlet, Karnov, and Simon's Quest. Tiger LCD video games.